This is a review of the Sensodyne Pronamel multi-action toothpaste. We'll kind of go through all of the pros really quickly, and then we'll kind of go through the cons. All right. So the very first pro that I like about this toothpaste is that it has a very neutral tasting flavor. All right. What I mean by that is that it almost kind of has no flavor, but it does have like a slight hint of mint to it. It does say it is mint flavored, but you can almost barely even notice it unless you kind of really focus on the flavor. Like I would almost kind of describe it as having no flavor, especially if you kind of compare it to some of the other Pronamel toothpastes such as this one, the Sensodyne Pronamel Gentle Whitening. This one has like the strongest menthol flavor have ever tasted. It almost tastes like Vicks vapor rub, you know. So and I kind of tested this one before I used this one. So the multi-action is definitely a breath of fresh air in that case. You know, like a lot of toothpastes, they have like a lot of flavor sometimes, and there are times where you don't really want any flavor, okay? And then this one is like the most neutral tasting one that I have ever tested, okay? The second pro is that it can help prevent cavities because it is a fluoride toothpaste, so it does have fluoride, sodium fluoride in there for anti-cavity. So what they'll do is it'll prevent cavities and also help reverse small cavities that are still in the enamel. The third pro is that since it is part of the Sensodyne line of products, it is made for sensitivity. Okay, so the active anti-sensitivity agent is potassium nitrate. Okay, and it is listed as an anti-hypersensitivity agent. So how potassium nitrate works is that if you do have any exposed surfaces on your teeth, so basically what the potassium nitrate does is it will kind of diffuse through it, and it'll reach where the nerve is, and then from there it kind of just messes up the concentration gradient of the sodium and potassium, and it kind of prevents the tooth nerve from firing sensitivity signals. So if you want to kind of look up on how this works, you should look up concentration gradients, okay, and action potentials. The fourth pro with this toothpaste is that it is SLS free, meaning it does not contain any sodium lauryl sulfate. Some people say that it's a really harsh detergent and it could dry out your mouth and it could make canker sores worse. But the reason why I kind of list it as a pro here is that it actually helps to maximize fluoride absorption onto the enamel. So the thing is, the sodium lauryl sulfate, it actually binds with the fluoride, and it kind of makes it less available for your teeth to use, okay? So toothpastes without SLS will actually have an increased efficacy of fluoride, okay? And that is kind of how they make the claim of being the specialist in enamel protection for this toothpaste. The next pro I kind of like with this, it has to do with the design. I do like this new cap design where it has like a flat cap at the end. It lets the toothpaste be stored in an upright vertical position. So this just kind of gives your bathroom counter like a more clean and organized look, especially if you compare it to the ones where they kind of have to lay flat. It takes up a lot more space, so it's just more aesthetically pleasing when it could kind of stand upright. The very last pro of this toothpaste is it may be a little hard for you to see, but this toothpaste actually has a sparkle to it. It may be a little difficult to see if I could kind of get it to focus a little bit. There is like shimmering glitters in this toothpaste. It is the only Pronamel toothpaste which does this. You can kind of see at the tip there, there's like some sparkle there. I could kind of compare it to with this one right here, the Gentle Whitening. Put on my other tip of my finger. Right, if you kind of look at them really closely, the one on the right is very opaque looking, while the one on the left actually has some shimmer to it. The reason why it kind of shines like that is because it contains the mineral mica in it. Okay, so ooh, that's the wrong one. Okay, yeah, the Gentle one. Yeah, the multi-action has mica in the toothpaste, and that just kind of makes it kind of shimmer, glitter, and make it sparkle. So where you also kind of find the mica is actually in like eyeshadow and blush, you know, when you see it kind of sparkling, right? It has that reflective property to the mineral. Right. So those are all of the pros with this toothpaste. As for cons, I don't really have too many. Aside from the fact that the Sensodyne Pronamel toothpastes, they do tend to cost a bit more than the more basic toothpastes. So there is a price premium when you purchase, you know, any type of Pronamel product. Okay, but the Pronamel and the Sensodyne products, they're pretty similar in pricing, in my opinion. But they do cost more than the more basic type of toothpastes. The next con with this toothpaste is that it does have a twist off cap, as you can kind of hear there. It has an audible click right there. I do feel like the twisting requires more effort than the toothpaste designs where they have a flip cap. Okay, I much prefer the flip cap because it's easier to open and close. I just feel like it's a lot more convenient than a twist off cap, especially since sometimes you could kind of get the angle in wrong. You have to fiddle around with it a little bit when you're twisting it in. But you know, but it's not the end of the world. So you know, definitely those two cons, the price and the cap, they don't really deter me from purchasing and using the toothpaste, you know. So although I kind of list it as a con, they're not really bad in my opinion. So yes, it is a solid toothpaste. If you have sensitive teeth or you're prone to cavities, I highly do recommend this toothpaste. All right, and that concludes the review of the Sensodyne Pronamel Multi-Action Toothpaste.